You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Yo. You already know what time it is. We are missing the triple threat. You know what I'm saying? He's out here in Cali, but handling some business. So in the meantime, between time, me and Bobby gonna kick this show on the road.
Yep, you
So
already know.
welcome. You know what? I think this is how it's gonna work kind of easy because it's not three of us doing it, right? Welcome to Technically Speaking, where news that you could.
Use.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't no delay at this time. So check it out. Bobby, how was your weekend? Talk to us about your weekend because we know some people got a foothold stumped in their neck, but we're not talking about them right now. We talking about
The Super Bowl.
ooh,
The Super Bowl. It was an interesting one for the books, for sure.
oh
For
yes,
sure. So, it takes a lot of people. Super Bowl is such a huge, huge deal. It takes a lot of people. And I like that they were showing footage from like around the world. People from around the world are watching the Super Bowl here and stuff. So it's not just an American thing, because we got Americans all over the world and stuff. And they, you know, tuning in to shout out their teams.
yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs are my third team. I only have
Oh,
three teams, and the Chiefs are at the bottom after the Cowboys and the Patriots and stuff. So
mm-hmm.
of course I was cheering on Mahomes.
Okay.
I was very disappointed in the game yesterday.
I think everybody in Kansas City was busy.
I was like, what the hell are we doing? Why are y'all not running this ball? Why do you keep dropping it? Oh my goodness. I was like, y'all worked so hard to get here and
I,
oh man.
yes, they worked hard to get there. The thing about it though, you gotta give Philly they props.
Oh
The
yeah, Jalen Hurts is. They played good. They did. Exactly what they came out there to do. They came to win.
yeah,
I don't know what was going on with the Chiefs. I don't know if they were like, oh hey, we made it again, but the Philadelphia came out there to whoop some ass, and I just wish Kansas City would have had that same energy.
yeah. So I look at it like this, right? So Kansas City Chiefs, right? Take nothing away from Mahomes. You can't. The man is he scored his last points during a comeback. You know what I'm saying? During the
Hmm.
comeback part of the quarter. I mean part of the game. The issue with that is he should have been playing like that in the beginning of the game.
I said the
And,
same thing.
and I
Here
was
we
talking
are.
yeah, and I
Go
was
ahead.
talking to some friends of mine, you know what I'm saying, during the Super Bowl talks and stuff.
Hmm.
I was saying, look, let's just be 100% honest. Both these teams are good, but
Yeah.
defense is what's going to really bring this game down to it. And that was, I'm gonna be honest with you, the defense on Phoenix. I mean, not Phoenix. Look at Phoenix,
On
Phillips. I mean,
Kansas.
you can't. No, not uncanny. Philadelphia.
Mm.
Their defense was real solid. You know what I'm saying? I knew that they were going to put a lot of tension on Saquon because of the fact that who he is. You know what I'm saying? And I knew Hurts was going to do his thing, but
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? The defense has stepped up. Interceptions, you know what I'm saying? Umpteen sacks. I mean, the game was a good game.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I just think Kansas City got a little too comfortable because they already knew they were in the big game.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Like y'all got comfortable enough to get here, but not comfortable enough. Like you just stayed comfortable, and now you just stayed here. You're like, oh, at least we made it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, no, we should have been seeing a much better game
Yeah.
than what
Yeah.
than what we had.
Yeah. I didn't. Well, I called the blowout, but I thought it
Mm.
was going to be a blowout.
I
Not
honestly thought it was going to be close. I didn't know who was going to win, but I thought whoever it was going to be a close game. But
right.
mm-mm.
I Here's the reason why I said it was going to be a blowout because teams often, I think even the Golden State Warriors had that same mentality. When they got to the third time in the championship, they
Mhm.
felt like it was going to be an easy wash against. I believe it was LeBron when he was with Cleveland.
Mhm.
And I say that to say all this. And I tell my son this all the time. It's any given Sunday, right?
Mhm.
And then you're on the big stage. You have to play like every game is your last game. Because if you don't play
Mhm.
like every game is your last game, then the other team gonna sneak in and win that ball. And
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. I mean, like it was a hurtful Super Bowl. No
we had
play.
way too many interceptions. First of all,
Yeah.
Way too many interceptions, way too many quarterback sacks. It was
Yeah.
like, what are we doing, y'all? Where are the guys that are supposed to be protecting Mahomes? What are we
Man.
doing as a team?
Yeah.
I
But
don't know.
nonetheless, they still, I mean, both of the teams came out before the game the champion. You had the AFC champion, the
Yeah,
NFC champion. So everybody's job is secure for the most part. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You know,
yeah, for sure.
so coach is not going nowhere. Hope maybe we see a back-to-back Super Bowl, maybe part two of this, because this was actually kind of part two-ish because
Yeah.
not Saquon, but Jalen Hurts and Kansas City played each other before Kansas City had their run
Hmm.
for two Super Bowls in a row,
Yeah.
and it went the other way. It went to Kansas City. So yeah, I'm happy for him. Now
Hmm.
you know what I'm gonna talk about. You
Yeah.
know what I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna do it for my boy Gmo because he ain't here. But when he here,
Hmm.
he's always like monster.
I know.
Yeah. How did you feel about that halftime? How did you feel?
um, how did I feel about it? I was a little bit confused. I wasn't quite sure what was going on with the whole red, white, and blue with Samuel L. Jackson coming out as Uncle Sam. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm trying not to read too much into this, but I'm not
Read.
I'm not
Read.
I'm not getting the warm and fuzzies for the red, white, and blue stuff for some reason. I didn't know if it was to be a mockery.
Okay.
Um that's what I didn't know. We were all talking about it last night. I'm like, I don't know if I'm reading too much into this. I'm patriotic. I love red, white, and blue stuff, America all the way, but
Right.
I was like, I
So,
don't know.
Kendrick is the type of artist that everything always means something.
Yeah.
Flashback to when he won the Grammys, right? He won
Mm-hmm.
5 Grammys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, he swept the Grammys. Some people didn't know when he went up there to get those Grammys, he had on all jean. People know that when you wear all jean, top and bottom, that's a
Mm-hmm.
Canadian tuxedo.
That's a what?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes.
Man, we were laughing at his jeans. I was like, why did this guy come out in some bell bottoms? Like he was wearing women's
That's
pants.
the actual.
Oh,
That's the latest hip hop cultural trend.
is
Everybody
it?
wears clothes with big jeans.
Big
But
jeans? Okay.
he wore a Canadian tuxedo, which was a shot at Drake, right?
Hmm.
Drake is from Canada.
So I knew that he was out there doing stuff, trying to diss Drake still while he was on that big stage. I already had a feeling that he was going
Oh,
to.
well, he gave Drake a piece of it because
Hmm.
of this. Not like us, obviously.
Yeah.
But what he was doing was like people misunderstand the what he was saying. Okay, so you saw the black man
Yes.
in red, white, and blue.
Yes.
We're part of America too.
Hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
one statement he was saying. Number two,
Uh-huh.
when he got up, a lot of people was like, he's alluding to Trump and this. He was like, no, you picked the right person, but the wrong. No, he's like, you picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Not saying that to Trump. I believe he's talking to that was a shot directly at Drake. So people don't understand. Kendrick was chill before before like that came out, which was a song with him on um Future and
Hmm.
on the Future feature, right? That song, you know what I'm saying, was it. So Drake was not American, was
Hmm.
Canadian,
Hmm.
was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and poke this guy. And based off of the interviews I've seen Kendrick do, and then also the interviews I hear about his people from his camp, Kendrick is not one to let things go. Like, no,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? I'm one of the greatest, but I don't have to tell you that. They already solidified it. But
Hmm.
you think that I'm gonna bow down like these other people you had beef with?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not going. And Kendrick he even said it in his music. You could take it there, but I'm gonna take it further. And he took it further, bigger than the Super Bowl. I'm
Hmm.
like, he did the Grammys. He had everybody in the Grammys, which is all his and Drake peers singing a diss record that was about Drake. Before he did that, he did Be Humble.
Yeah.
He was like, sit down. He was telling, to me, I got that
I
message because he
I
was
do
doing
like that song. I was
right,
like, oh, I know this jam.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Everything he did had a message in there. You know what I'm saying? The Uncle Sam,
Hmm.
he's talking about welcome to the big game. It's not really talking about the big game football. That
Hmm.
was subliminal as well.
Hmm.
Big game of life,
Hmm.
right? Football, the main stage. He's there. And then when he toned it down to he did the song with SZA. He was like, "Yeah, we like to hear that type of music." And then he said, Samuel, Uncle Sam said something about because a lot of black people look at Samuel L. Jackson as that's Uncle Sam. Like
Hmm.
we love Samuel L. Jackson is like our uncle, but nonetheless, that right there, he was like, "Tone it down, don't be so loud." Oh, I see you brought your homeboys with you. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And he went ahead and did what he was supposed to do. He performed, but everybody was looking at the stage. So the stage that he did 4 stages.
Hmm.
The beginning one was it was a GNX stage when everybody was coming out of the car. That's
Hmm.
a vehicle, very popular
Yeah.
vehicle. Not too many of them was made. And that's his vehicle. I mean, I don't know if that was a real vehicle that he had everybody coming out of.
It
But
looked pretty real to me.
yeah,
I'm like,
right.
they brought a whole car over here.
Yeah. And then they were on the tennis courts in Compton. They rebuilt the tennis courts in Compton
Hmm.
where, you know what I'm saying, he performed. And then Serena, who also is from Compton, was dancing. And some people was correlating, well, Serena dancing to the video because of the fact that obviously she used to be with Drake, but that was over some time, like I think 5-10 years ago, because Serena has a
Hmm.
baby, Serena's married, but Serena is from Compton. And
We talking about
everybody
Serena? Okay, I feel stupid. Are we talking about Serena Williams?
Serena Williams, that was the girl that they panned the camera to who was crip walking.
Oh, it was. I
Yes.
was like, who was this girl? And then I saw another girl too wearing like all red, and I was like, who are these women? I'm sure there's
Okay,
somebody.
so
I just didn't recognize them.
yeah, so SZA was the girl in all red.
Hmm.
She was the one singing and performing.
Yeah.
Um, the girl who is all blue who was crip walking, that's Serena Williams
Oh, okay, okay.
from Compton. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Kendrick is very strategic, if you know what I'm saying. And then it was a whole bunch of stuff saying that he shouldn't do this, he shouldn't do that, he can't
Hmm.
perform this. If you perform this, he can't say that. So Kendrick was like, he made his mark, but he gave everybody entertainment as well.
Yeah.
So I personally salute Kendrick for that. You know what I'm saying? And he was the first rapper to ever home the Super Bowl stadium halftime show where it was
Hmm.
just him by himself, solo rap artist.
Yeah.
So you can't beat that. You got to give that man his credit. Yeah.
Okay.
But, that's my spiel on it.
It was a good show.
Yeah,
I don't
it was.
really have I don't really have anything because I'm not so into the culture where I know a whole lot about their beef or anything. All I know is pretty much what you all have talked about here is probably extent of it.
Right.
So there, you're in the culture. I know you're in the pop culture stuff for sure, and so you know what's going on. So I trust you.
Hopefully, no doubt. No doubt. So, next thing we're moving into.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go for the next? We can roll on into, to say
Well, no,
what we.
we got a couple of topics today.
Yeah, let's tap on it. Go for it. I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to say too much. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and feel free, Bobby. Talk to us.
So lots of things happening around the United States. I think yesterday, Gulf of Mexico is officially named the Gulf of America. Did you know that?
No, what?
Yeah. Hmm. So like official is what I was not told, but on a radio station that I listened to, they said, oh, so it's official. It's officially the Gulf of America.
Okay.
And I don't personally care like if the name changes or anything. I think some people are reading too much into it, but I had told another friend of mine who absolutely hates Donald Trump, so I don't take anything that she says to heart.
Right.
But she was like, "Oh, it's trying to erase history, blah blah blah," and I was like, "No, it's kind of funny because we live in North America, Canada, United States." All the Mexican countries, all the I don't want to say Mexican countries, but all the Latin countries
Mhm.
down below the United States, we are all North America.
Yeah.
Why would we name it after one? Because I don't know, it touches different areas. I don't
Right.
personally, I don't personally care that the whole naming convention. It ain't gonna change me.
Mhm.
All you can, just like we've talked about before. Only thing that you can do is get yourself together.
True.
That's you. Get you and your finance together. Forget about who's sitting in the White House. Forget about some of the stuff that's going on. You do you the best way possible. You know what I
I
mean? If you're making bad money decisions before, Trump or Biden or whatever, you're going to continue doing it. You got to change your outlook and your spending habits. So tighten it
I
up,
agree.
tighten up the budget.
I agree. You already know how I feel about I respect the office, I respect the president, Donald
Mm-hmm.
Trump. Did I vote for him? No. However, I do know when you get everybody when they become a president, everybody who's been president wants to leave a monumental mark before they
Yeah.
leave, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what Donald Trump is trying to do with making Canada the 51st state of America. That's kind of strong, but I've never been in a position to have that much power, so I don't know what comes along with that, right? Because I don't know who's advising him. I personally, I don't care. I don't. I just what I do care about
Those are
is like
some heavy shoes to fill, though.
right. I mean, the
Very
brain,
heavy shoes.
and then not trying to be funny. I personally look at it like this because of the fact that um I feel you said something really profound.
What's that?
Whether he's in office, whether whoever's in office, you got to do what you got to do to get your stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to stop cursing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Um,
me too. I'm working on that in 2025.
for real,
Look,
because
the Lord is always working on me. Okay, I'm
God
not
is all yeah,
perfect.
same here. Jesus take the wheel, and you know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Because um, I look at it like this, right?
Yeah, tell me.
If I believe if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you, right? And if
Yeah.
you get challenged, then it's going to show who you are, and hopefully you can learn from yourself, whether it's a loss or a win, right? Because
Mm.
reason why I said loss first, because you usually learn more when you lose something. You learn that
Oh
you
yeah,
don't want to lose again.
yeah.
you
You don't
you
want to do
learn when
that.
you made your mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And to bring that back up to this, it's like there's a lot of people that um and I feel, I mean, I know how to. I know I worked in a commission area where there was politics inside the workforce, whether you're not sure if you're going to have a job or not. Said I went through two
That's
mergers.
everywhere.
Yeah,
That's everywhere.
right. But when you have people who work for a company for 25 years and they say, okay, job security, when
Mm-hmm.
they one of the reasons they got the job, like federal employees, state employees, that's what they're told when they get out of college. Get a federal job, or that's what they told when you get out of high school. Get
Yeah.
a federal job or a or a state job, not California, I'm sorry, but a state job.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of jobs are the most secure jobs you can have, so you can be able to build your family and have the things on, because it seemed like it was the best bet. It was a safe bet. We unfortunately and fortunately, there's no more safe bets. We gotta go with what we know, meaning that you have to build yourself up to the best of your ability. Now, I know we don't talk much about Christ on the show because of the fact that we want to be respectful to all, but as a Christian man, I put my faith in God, not in government.
Right.
So I realize that there's certain things that I have to check and take inventory, because if I feel something is coming down the pipeline, you know, I'm not going to be dumb and say, well, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'd rather be prepared
Yeah.
than unprepared, and that's for anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I pray that the people who are getting these, because it's saying that the things are being paused, right? The
Yeah.
pause on the on the resignation, they paused it. They banned. They didn't. They banned. They paused the ban, right?
Mm-hmm.
With that pause, we have to my bad, Don. Instagram feed is not up. That's Gmo's spot. Sorry about that, bro. And he's not on today. So, and I'm streaming on his Facebook. You should be able to see it on his Facebook. Um, Back to what I was saying.
We're on
We,
pause.
yeah. I get it. It's like these are things that these are precautionary measures you should be taking now. You know what I'm saying? At any given moment, the ban could be lifted, and then you can lose your job. So these things that's going on right now, prepare yourself. Get
Mm-hmm.
yourself, get your things in order. I understand it's gonna be hard, but trouble don't last always. It never
Right.
has. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be hard. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don Marcus. So, but yeah,
What's up, Dr. Poole?
Dr. Pooh. So, but how do you feel about it? Go ahead. You spill. You talk
Yeah,
to
I will, because I work in the government.
right,
I'm a contractor for the Department of Defense, and actually our contract just renewed for the next couple of years and stuff. So technically, my job is fairly safe, and because I work in a certain part of the government, it's very niche. This area isn't an area most people um, get into during their career. I was very blessed to have this opportunity opened up to me and given to me and stuff. And I won't ever take that for granted, because not a day goes by that I'm sitting here looking at some of the stuff that I've done, and I'm like, nobody but God. There's
right,
no human way possible Bobby would have ever found herself over here. It's not. It's merely by the grace of God, by the favor of the Lord. I got the fog over me, right? Called the favor of God. That's what we call it. I
right.
got the fog.
I like that. I'm gonna
So
use that. The fog over me.
now I got the fog over me and stuff. And so there's just things where I'm just innately appreciative of it.
Right.
But a couple of weeks ago, federal employees, had gotten an email called a fork in the road. One of the things Donald Trump had talked about when he was campaigning was about limiting government spending, and one of the things that he's doing to try to keep his campaign promises is exactly what he's doing, which is why Doge was created and stuff. It's been interesting to see some of the stuff that comes out of there. Um, I do want to encourage people to do your research, especially the stuff that came out with USAID. Um, we've really got to pull back on government spending, especially in other countries. Especially in other countries, we don't need to be funding, random programs to advance any type of agendas in other countries. We need to focus on what's going on here. We've got homeless veterans we need to take care of. We've got
Yeah.
single moms who are struggling. We've got to focus on what's happening here in our home front. This is why he got elected, was to cut back the fat. You know what I mean?
All right.
And so in doing so, that's going to hit federal jobs, and people have a choice. You remember, we live in America. If you lose your job and you're good at what you do, especially in the federal arena, you can pause and you can go find a job in the corporate world. You At least I believe that you can. God forbid something happened, I could find a job in the corporate world, but because of the niche that I do, it's only very specific to the government. So I can't do what I do for like a corporate company, because it's only limited to the government.
Government. Right.
So um, we all have an opportunity to figure out what we want to do in our life, and if they're giving you the opportunity, and I know what I think this is going to do too. This is going to cause people who have been on the fence about retiring. Sometimes it's hard to get a job in the federal government because you have people in their 70s still working, still holding down spots
Yeah.
and stuff. And so for people who are on the fence about retiring, this could just be them being like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just take this shot. If they're offering us pay until September, I'm just gonna go ahead and retire early, and head on into retirement. And then you have all these open positions within the federal government. Some stuff is going to get cut,
Right.
Um,
But
I
that's
think
unique
that the
because
U.S. isn't even fully aware of everything that the government does, or how many cookie jars it even has its hand in.
right. And I
And
think I think what needs to be before all, and it's that damn media, because we understand what the media does. Sometimes they do it for likes and sometimes they do it for eyeballs and attention. And I get it. I'm one of the people who consume it. But I think what we need to do is when we're relaying the message of jobs are going to be cut, I think
mhm,
they need to be more specific because of the fact that if they say federal government jobs going to be cut, that's hurtful.
that's
But
very wide. That's
exactly. So
very that's so wide.
we need to be able to cut it down and say, like, okay, well, federal jobs in this position may be cut. So these people can start looking into corporate America jobs and can
Mhm.
look into private sector jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or
there's plenty of jobs where people there's like four people assigned to a specific government position, but really you may only need two.
right.
So there may be two people's, jobs that are getting cut from that, and you're limiting the budget being paid to for that. In
Right.
the IT realm, I don't think so.
Not because
Not
they know
for
too
not for
much.
what I not for what I do. It's not getting cut. I tell you right
Not
now.
they know
National
too much.
security would be on hold if my job if something like that happens. It
Right.
wouldn't, but you know,
Right. And see, and that's the thing. I believe that America needs to start talking about things like that. Either talk about things like, okay, well, taking your career that you have and starting your own business, learn the ins and outs of that trade so you can keep yourself gainfully
yeah,
employed with partnerships with other companies that you work with. When you work with the contracts that you have with the government, get a government contract because you've been able to do XYZ on for the
yeah,
government. Now get your own business, get a government contract. It's gonna push us to be a lot more self-independent.
independent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, it's going to be hard, but it's going to make you better, and
yeah,
it's going to
for
also
sure.
make you more self-aware.
It's funny you
And
said that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, maybe this is going to be a push for either some people to retire or, hey, baby, you've been on the fence about opening up your own business. If you work in acquisitions with the government, acquisitions is contracts.
right,
And you know the ins and outs of those contracts, you can get there and slide right in because so many contracts are given to certain types of companies and stuff. And hey,
yeah,
more power to you. You've just used the knowledge being given to you,
right,
and all you're doing is turning it around, and you're bringing about a return of investment for
exactly.
you. You
And
know.
there's this one guy named Myron Goldman that I watch on YouTube, and he made a statement. He said, "A job, the most important thing that the job gives you is skill. It's
Mm,
not money.
yeah.
It's skill. When you get a job, you learn a skill that you can take that skill and go to the competitor after you get about a couple of years of service under your belt with that skill, and you can go
Hmm.
to somewhere else and you can pretty much elevate your own paycheck.
Yeah.
And
Because you've just become an asset to that company, whether or not you work there or not anymore. But you've just gained that skill. I said the same thing when I moved into the ComSec area for the government. I'm like, it's just another notch in my belt.
right,
Is
right,
all it is. So obviously, as you grow, as you mature, you should want to build up your skills
your
and
skill set, right. Because
make yourself more marketable.
exactly, and that way you'll be able to go into different workforces in the event if these jobs do get cut, right?
Hmm.
Look, I have a brother who's been working for the post office for almost 25, no, almost 30 years, right?
Hmm.
So I get it. Those type of jobs, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of hard to be able to move into other sections, but you can because there's MDOs, which is managers of, I believe, they pretty much like that. They run the shifts.
Yeah.
And then there's mail handlers, mail carriers, their operations. They have those positions inside the post office where you can do so. But I'm saying that as a reference to if you're in a corporate establishment,
Hmm.
look at other look at other positions inside that corporation to see where you can learn something where you can be a valuable skill to them,
Yeah.
or you could take that skill and go work at the competition. right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of people who leave USPS, which is United States Postal Service,
Mm-hmm.
go over to US UPS and get a job there and kind of upgrade their salary because of the
Yeah,
knowledge they learned at the UPS, and then
exactly.
FedEx, and then now Amazon, and you can now Amazon opened the door a couple years ago where you can actually have your own Amazon truck, and you
Yeah.
can start doing these deliveries and pretty much pay for itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the workforce is needing to be pushed because we know the jobs are going to get cut one way or the other. AI is going to cut it,
Yeah.
or you're going to get cut by
You
your president.
stole my thunder. I was gonna move into the AI part of it too.
Well, go for it. Go ahead.
Oh man, we talk about, technology is always changing, and I do work in the technology field, and it's changed in the last 10 years that I've been working here, and so now the idea of being able to use artificial intelligence in everyday business is now, um, it's good and bad, and
Right.
I've said that before. It's good and bad. The good part is obviously with the artificial intelligence. You're able to be more capable of reaching out to people, whether it's marketing strategies, business strategies, performance writing reviews. It's come in and kind of become a helping hand, but in doing so has taken out the human aspect of some of these jobs. And because of that, AI can in fact replace some of those jobs. And it's just the nature of the way things are moving. But if you are smart, if people who are watching our show, we know you're smart because you're tuning in to Technically Speaking, right?
That part.
So you
That
know
part.
you know your skill, you know your worth, and you know your value.
Yeah.
Keep on building yourself up so that you can branch out and you can move from that USPS job over to FedEx and become a manager and be making 3 or 4 times what you were making before, because now you have the skill set that was required for it. You've just created, um, a pathway for you to continue into, moving up in your career
Yeah.
by doing that.
And speaking of career, these are ways that if you use these tools effectively, you can learn
Mhm.
how not to get burnt out at work.
Mm.
And that's one of our topics that we're talking about today.
It is. How often do we come across somebody who they're just having a bad day, and it's like, oh, Robert's always having a bad day, or just Diana's just not herself. And
Yeah.
look, chances are people are just burnt out. They may not even have any problems at home. They may lead happy lives, but they're burnt out at work.
Yeah.
What can we be doing, differently to ensure that we're not getting burnt out? Because when you get burnt out at work, it affects your emotions. You can
Hmm.
get depressed,
Yep.
and you start having some mental health issues and things, having to get seen by doctors and taking medicine just merely because you're burnt out.
Burnt out. Yeah.
um, I not everybody's job is the same, and so there are people who are truly workaholics. They live to work.
Yeah.
Not me, not
Right.
me. But it's like, not me. Only reason why I say that is just because I know the Lord is my provider. So whatever happens in the job realm, I know who's providing for our family and stuff. So,
Right.
but not everybody has that mindset. So I'd
Right.
encourage you, maybe take some time. Don't feel so much guilt by
Yeah.
having to take time off of work, and don't let anybody at your job make you feel
Make you
guilty
feel
for
guilty.
taking some time
Hello.
off of work, because you got to take care of you. They're not going to
Yeah.
take care of you. If you get burnt out and you decide to leave, they're like, all right, cool. Don't let the door split you with a good Lord. Or don't let the
I
door
know.
hit you with a
Don't
good
let the
Lord split
door
you.
hit you where the good Lord split
You
you.
and they're like, it's cool, we'll find somebody else, to do this job. Don't get burnt out. Shift up your schedule a little bit. Maybe choose to go in, if you can, a little bit earlier. Grab yourself a coffee on the way to work. Sit inside your car for a minute, relax, get into, um maybe get into the word, into some scripture, if you know how to do some relaxation methods and stuff, and come find your peace. Because if you're not going to find it at your workplace, don't look for it there, because you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
Find what makes you happy, and switch up your schedule. If you end up having to come and go in a little late, decide with your husband, your wife, your spouse, partner, best friend. Go grab yourself a cup of coffee. Choose to go in a couple of hours later. You know what? They will be just fine. That
Yeah.
may not be the best advice for every single person. That's not going to apply to every single job on this planet. It's not.
It's
Like,
not. No.
you know your schedule and what you're capable of doing. And it's okay. Go outside and take a walk.
Yeah. You
I
know.
work, I work down in a dungeon. We've got no windows. It's there's nothing there. So when somebody
Got
goes
no
out,
light.
hey, what's the weather like? They're like, oh man, it was raining when I came in, but now it's like a cold front came through, so now it's windy. You're like, oh great, I didn't bring my jacket with me, so
Right.
got to take that long walk to the car. Go and take a walk.
Take a
Go and take a walk.
take a walk. I used to work in retail, right? With customer facing, meaning that customers walk in the door, I'm the face they see.
Yeah.
And I used to work in a mall at that. And sometimes I would go into the mall at work. It'd be in the morning time. And when my crew come in, I don't know I don't know what time it is, but when I leave, I'll be like, so is it still sunny outside? Nah, man, the sun never came out today. It's been gloomy out. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And I realized, like, when you work hard at your company, and then when your company, and this is a hack. I'm giving people cheat codes right now. You work hard at a company, and when your manager and stuff acknowledge it, that's your cue to say, you know what? I earned myself a vacation, or I
Yes.
earned myself a PTO. I remember when I worked, when I was working, they were really frowned upon for you taking your PTO. It's personal time off. And I worked at the company for 20 years. So every pay period, I get 1 day of work off, 1 day of PTO. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to start taking 1 day off every other week. Because every other week, I'll get a PTO day.
Yeah.
You couldn't cash it out because when the company merges, they took away that option. Year, you could be able to cash out so many hours of it. So I was like, okay. So they were like, you have to use it, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, then what I'll do is, come my birthday, I'll take off. Right.
Oh yeah, me too.
I don't work on my birthday, and I tell my wife not to, but she's like, well, it's the end of the year because she's in December. I'm like, my birthday is my personal holiday. I don't go to school. I don't go to work. I don't do nothing. I mean, if whatever I want to do is, if I want to work, because I own my own business, I will work.
Yeah.
However,
but you don't have to work.
I don't have to. Right.
Right.
And so what I was doing it back when I was working for corporate America, I would be like, okay, well, I gain a PTO day every pay period. So I'm taking 1 day off every other the pay period that I don't get paid. I'm gonna take a day off. And I talked to my management team, and they were like, well, you know what? You deserve it. Your numbers are always there. You're great to the teammates that's around you. Go for it. Because when you work in a commission environment as a when we have what we call a salary. I'm a salary, right? So I can take my book up business and go home. I can work with my whole computer, or I can not come into the office. I'm like, look, you know what? I'm at quota for the rest of the year. I'm taking off.
Yeah.
Take the perks. Like, don't feel guilty because your manager, he doesn't know your life. He only knows your work life. Your peers, they only know what you tell them, and they only know what they see at work. They don't know if you get home, your blood pressure high because of the fact that you had a bad day. They don't know that you can't sleep at night because the work is always on your brain. They don't know that, and they don't care. And since they don't care, you care, because the people who care about you, those are the ones who are going to be affected if something happens to you. So I'm telling you, take that time off. If it's just a day, if it's 2 days, hell, take a week. Your job will be there. And if it won't be there, that means that obviously they don't value you in the first place, and then go and get another one. Because one thing about corporate America, there's for every FedEx, there's a UPS, right? They're there. Go ahead and grab another job. And then upgrade your pay. Because I learned this from this one girl who she worked at my company for 3 years, and then she was like, it's time for me to get promoted. I was like, okay, so what position you going to? She was like, I don't know yet. And then she was like, okay, well, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. She told me like 3-4 weeks later, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. I'm like, you are? I was like, yeah, I just got an upgrade. I was like, oh, congratulations. Why are you putting in 2 weeks? Like, it's from the competition. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They offered her her acceptance letter came with the price of the salary she wanted to go with the same company with us.
Mm-hmm.
And she also wanted to go to, wanted to be able to have the comfort of working remote. They offered it to her. The company I worked for didn't. So she was like, peace. And
Yeah.
it showed me that you can only be loyal to one thing in life, and that's your family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Family and those who care about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you loyal to those people will be loyal to you. And as an organization, like, not trying to be funny, they're not loyal. They're loyal to their bottom line because they actually have responsibilities. They have board members. They have all these things. And
They're
I,
loyal to the green.
yeah,
If you ain't bringing that in, then you can just go ahead and
yeah.
scoot on out.
And as a business owner, I can understand that. But if I have a top performer and I know this person is killing it,
Mm-hmm.
and all they want is all they want is something that, you know what I'm saying, I believe my company can give to them. Why not? We're going to make up for it in the long run because of the fact that she's bringing in these numbers, or, you know what I'm saying, give her what she wants. If not, you will lose those numbers when she's gone.
It's true.
Yeah.
And now
So
that stinks. Just one of the ways that companies lose good employees. People get burnt out and they get the runaround from other people at the top. Like, oh, how did you make it up here? And they don't tell them anything. They are information hoarders,
gatekeepers, we call them
gatekeepers.
gatekeepers.
They are gatekeepers and
Yeah.
stuff. And those people are the ones that you got to be careful about.
Yeah.
Careful about what you're telling them, and it sucks too because you'll open up to somebody that you work with not even knowing that they're a gatekeeper,
Right.
and you're like, yeah, I'm trying to get over here, and they're like, oh yeah, well, good luck. I had somebody tell me that one time too. They're like, oh yeah, you're trying to get into the government. Oh well, you don't even have a bachelor's at the least. I'm like, no, we weren't all afforded the opportunity to be going to just college like that. Like I finished my associates at the top of my class, by the way. But he was like, "Oh, that don't even matter. You've got to at least have this education." I'm like, "No, you know what, sucker? I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I've
Right.
seen I've seen other people get far ahead in life with just a high school diploma. So you know what?
Exactly.
You go ahead, keep on gatekeeping. But
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like if you don't know my God like the way I know my God,
That
listen,
part. I'm saying,
listen.
I know the opportunity holder. I know the source,
Mhm.
not the resource. You
Yep.
feel me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead because we about to shut it down. But before we shut it down, we about to talk about V-Day. And I'm not talking about video games. I'm talking about Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
Valentine's Day is Friday. What are you doing and what are you not doing? And what are some do's and don'ts for Valentine's?
Do's and don'ts. Gentlemen, put
Mm,
your ears on. Your woman wants something. I'm telling you, she does. Even if she's like, no, baby, that's okay. Don't listen to her. Get her some
mm-mm.
flowers and some chocolates. Hook her up a little bit. Nobody said you
Yeah.
have to go out and buy diamond jewelry, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
women love whenever they feel loved. And you know what? Find out what her love language is. Find out what her love language is. Mine is acts of kindness. So when my husband shows up and he's got something cute that I didn't think of, I'm like, oh my God, babe, thank you so much. That makes me feel loved, but that's how I give love. So
Yeah.
do that. Show up, make her feel like $1,000,000, even if it only costs you 5. Like, don't even
Yep.
worry about the price. It's just the fact that you took your time to do that. But I can tell you what not to do.
Nothing.
I was like, listen, a lot can
Don't
be
do it.
told, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
don't do nothing. But no, don't be ugly, don't be loud, don't be in her face about certain things, don't
Right.
cause any unnecessary drama. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants that. Ladies, we don't want that. Men, y'all don't want that either.
Mm-hmm.
um you know don't let the sun go down on your wrath. So whatever February 13th looks like, leave it at the door on the 13th, and let's go into the 14th, making sure that we give each other the people that we love. If you don't have a loved one, go shower your mama. Go
There you
shower
go.
your daddy or your sister, your brother, with something, and let them know. Let people around you know that, hey, I love you. Even if I don't tell you all the time, listen, I do. And I wouldn't be where I am in my life right now if it wasn't for some of the support that you've given to me or words of encouragement. Sometimes that goes a long way. You don't need to get somebody something. You can
No.
show up with some words of encouragement for the day and completely change that person's outlook. It ain't about money. It's about what you're doing with the time that you have right now.
There
So
you
those
go.
are your Valentine's do's and don'ts. Don't be a
I
jerk.
got one.
Don't not buy nothing for your loved one. All right.
I got a few. I
All
got a
right.
few.
Let's hear them.
So, and these are universal, so they work for everybody and anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Random acts of kindness. You know what I'm saying? Um, when you're in Starbucks getting that coffee, you see somebody behind you. Be like, you know what? How much is the person drink behind me?
Mm-hmm.
You can be like, okay, let me go ahead and pay for that. Random act. So when you don't have, and this is truly when you're selfless
Yeah.
and not selfish. You don't know if that person is gonna tell you thank you or not. You just do it out the kindness of your heart. Number two, go feed the homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and serve. I know in LA, we have We Grow LA. Shout out to We Grow LA. It's a community organization that I'm part of that we go out
Mm-hmm.
every Friday. We're at Sloss and Swap Meet giving out free groceries. All you have to do is line up. You don't have to show no ID. You don't
Yeah.
have to have a cart. You just line up. We'll give you a box to put groceries in. If you don't have any, come and get you some free groceries. We don't ask you for your name. We just ask for you to just be happy, and that's it. And if you can't be
Mm-hmm.
happy, then be quiet, but get you some groceries. You know what I'm saying?
Look.
Because we coming out there, we out there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got praise and worship music going on. Sometimes we just out there having a vibe. We
Mm-hmm.
just out there just doing good, and it's gonna be on Valentine's Day. So if you in need of some
Cool.
groceries, come over to the Slauson Swap Meet on Western and Slauson and grab you
Mm-hmm.
some free groceries from the time 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time till groceries are gone. And we usually have over about 2 hours worth of free giving. So probably to one.
That's
Um,
good stuff. Be in the hands and feet of Jesus over there, I see.
there you go. And then there's also uh be be mindful with your significant other if you have one. And if you guys are just under a rock and out of clue, go on Chat GPT and use this prompt. I am lost for what I need to do on Valentine's Day. Generate me 10 ideas that cost nothing or next to nothing so I can be able to have a good Valentine's Day
Mm-hmm.
for someone other than myself or for myself. Enter. Chat GPT goes gonna bring it out for you and just pick one, pick two, pick a few. The good thing
Mm-hmm.
about it is it allows you to be able to get into the mindset of learning one technology, because this technically speaking news, right? And number
Mm-hmm.
two, it allows you to think outside the box, right? Because a lot of ideas go into Chat GPT. I'm sure somebody right now is putting that idea into play, and then you know what? Put the effort. That's the last one. Put some
Yeah,
effort into what you do. Don't do it just
absolutely.
to say you did it, because nobody wants a cold sandwich when it's supposed to be hot. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that meaning like cook it. Cook the meal, cook the food, cook the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it's done. So when it's done and that person takes a bite out of it, metaphorically speaking, that person takes a bite out of whatever you give them, they'll be satisfied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are that's Corey Giovanni's do's and don'ts for
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Depending on who you're with, like if my husband pulled like a diamond necklace out of a box, I'd be like, oh, thanks. No, seriously, because like I would rather go and do stuff. Spending time with people, the
Yeah,
quality time. Like I said, find out what your significant other's love language is and tap into that. Because
yeah.
it's the peak time to do that. Not just on Valentine's Day, but any day. Because
Any
you
day.
gotta take care of the people that you love, and take care of yourself, my friends.
Yeah.
Um, so.
Love languages are important. And
Mhm.
sometimes when people think love language, they probably automatically, well, I don't even gonna say they, I'm gonna say me. I used to automatically think like sexual or physical. But no,
Mhm.
sometimes like the kind words, you know what I'm saying? What is the
So it's words of
Words of
affirmation,
affirmation. Then there's
acts
physical
of
touch,
kindness,
acts of kindness,
quality
um,
time,
quality time,
mm, gifts,
gifts. Physical touch is one.
and physical touch. Yep.
Right.
So my husband's is physical touch, but it doesn't always relate to something sexual. He likes when I hold his hand. He likes when I scratch his back. He loves those things.
Right.
Just being reminded, that I'm not feeling my best today. So today he kept reaching over and grabbing my hand, letting me know that he was right there and stuff, and being supportive in my effort to heal up and get back to my normal self.
Right.
But hey, if you're praying people, I appreciate your prayers my way. If get a little bit of healing over here, that'd be great.
Definitely,
Great.
definitely. You know what I'm saying? So it's that time to wrap it up. Bobby, let
Sir,
them know about, because I see it's on the tag.
it
Page
is.
Restorations
Yes.
LLC. Talk to us
Yes.
about it.
We're located here in the San Antonio area. We service several counties in the San Antonio area. So Bexar County, Atascosa, Medina County, Wilson County. If you have any type of water leakage inside your home, it could be due to a broken pipe, something's faulty. Give us a call. Let us help take care of you. We do work with homeowners insurance companies, and that's exactly who we should be going through. If there's a water leakage, absolutely go through your homeowners insurance. Give us a call. Let us help you. Last thing you want to do is have mold in your home, and you have your family there breathing all those spores in and stuff. It's terrible for your body and for your health. So let's stay healthy. Let's keep taking care of our families, and give me a shout if you need something. Even if you just have a question and you're not sure where to go, just give me a call. Advice is always free.
Always free. And unless she wants to charge you a consulting fee.
Not I'm too nice.
Well, here's the thing. We can talk about that on the side.
Yeah.
This is your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni, CEO of Core ENT. Now, if you need any services related to your business, advertising, marketing, manual, commercial, reach out to me. I can be found at coreent.biz. That's www.coreent.biz. And get at me. Send me a quick email, and then we'll schedule up a conference call so I can be able to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, and our buddy Gmo, aka the tech _ Vaughn _ Go, who's not on TikTok, but everywhere else. That's my main man. He is not here, but he is here in spirit. He probably tuning in to make sure we's on our P's and Q's. But and that's it. Do you got any last words, Bobby?
Oh, take care of yourself and the people that you love, and let's go get it.
There you go. Go get it. Thank you for choosing to. Thank you for choosing
to tune in to Technically Speaking today, where we're giving you news that you can use.
And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend. Peace.
We'll be here next Monday. Let's tune in.
Tune in. Peace. Okay.